hello. My name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today, instead of doing like an art blog as usual, I decided to do one about, instead of like doing classical, I wanted to do like my four favorite mangaka artists. So the first one on the menu is Rezi. As with most of the mangaka artists, she does like digital art, like she draws the character and then using Photoshop and then like builds up the layers until it looks very cool. Like I think she has like an account in Pixies. So if you're like interested in seeing more of her work, that's where you can find them. So what I like a lot about it is like the way that they do like the folding and the cloth is like in a very natural way, and also like the poses are like quite varied and the angles complicated. Let's see another example. This one is a little old, 2011. So over here we had like the yin yang bunnies, and then, and even though they're just turning around to like judgmentally look at you, you can see that there's variable in the turning around pose here with the hand and stuff. So it's a good artist to study if you want to learn how to do more dynamic chic poses. And this one is more of a fan art. Is Loom Urizen. Like I think Urizen Yasura. Like you remember the weird alien anime show, the because Rumiko Takahashi is known for Inuyasha, but she made other things. So that's one of her characters. I think she's like falling from the sky, and it's like a very complicated pose. And even with her head slightly turning around.
But something worth mentioning about this artist is that a lot of AIs use her as a sample,
Yeah, like
mainly in the bicuspid and but this is 2011, 2010, way before artificial
yeah,
intelligence came out.
yeah. Like if it looks familiar, that it's just that the AI, artificial intelligence, they like to pay for the works of real, of real mangaka artists, and then just the computer like copy paste it. But if you see, this is the legit article. Oh yeah, and like here we see like cool looking dragon. So not only can she like render like I'm assuming it's a she. No, I meant the artist.
Yeah, rest.
Yeah, it could be a dude. I don't know.
I don't know. I
Uh,
still don't know what the artist looks like.
yeah. Well, some artists are shy about stuff.
Yeah, we respect. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pro.
yeah, total pro. So then they can also like draw dragons. I like dragons. Alright, so, and this is a wish lady surrounded by fairies. It's very interesting, just all of the cool designs and the little stuff that went into the making of like this original character and stuff. And even like you see that here, the map is like very highly detailed, and just the random details of the armor, and even like her rune sword got like a lot of extra work. Like the digital artists don't get the credit that they deserve, especially those that like draw anime stuff. But you can tell that like a lot of love and work went into the rendition of this wish girl, original character. All right. And here's just a standard pose of somebody like just sitting, and instead of and just look at how dynamic and varied that sitting pose is, because we got like the knee over here, the arms over here, and like the head weirdly reclined. One could almost suspect that she probably even used light models or just her mirror reflection in order to get this cool naturalistic pose. But which is fun.
Like it's interesting. The Yoda generates a lot of rest stuff in its
Yeah.
compiler.
But you can see the original article, because like here we have it has all of its five fingers,
Yeah, it's
and then
somebody who's a human being.
yeah, and even just the face. Let's dig up. Let's move on top. And look at how nice it renders like the eyeballs, different layers and nice reflective surfaces. It's a very well, it looks simple, but there's a lot of like artistry going behind it,
So
you
yeah,
know.
let me reiterate, this is not AI.
This is not AR art. This was before AR art came to ruin artists in specific, cause the big companies they still pay for other people's work, and then they make all of the stuff since they have the money to market it, while the real artists whom they stole from are left behind to starve.
It's funny that they try to steal from Studio Ghibli, but they
Yeah,
are owners. Like this is
yeah, yeah. Like the stole from they stole the wrong. Let me just get out of his retirement one last time in order to go to with the artificial intelligence jumps and snapshot too. They're getting now that they are gonna get sued, they are legit getting sued. Studio Ghibli is very hyper protective of his IP because they be like they even stole plot points because now you gotta watch out because now Microsoft Word it has an artificial intelligence that supposedly learns your writing to help you write better. But no. If you gotta disable that as quickly as possible because it's gonna learn your writing and it's gonna steal your plot points and it's gonna give it to like a lazy writer and then he's gonna publish your book and your plot points before you get a chance to get around it. And then it's gonna get into like a crazy stupid again, which is why yeah, that almost happened to me. I said like there's a weird icon on my Microsoft Word. Fish, how do I fix it?
and they turned out to be an AI that was
Try.
co-pilot.
Yeah, Copilot. Do not trust the Copilot. Beware of the Microsoft paperclip. They are there to steal your hard earned work.
And the same for Photoshop. Like Photoshop now is doing the same thing. It has an AI that supposedly helps you out. I already disabled it.
Yeah. Just look online how to disable it. They're not there to help you. They're there to steal your work and your creativity. Like independent artists gotta band together to like fight big.
Fight against machine.
Fight against the machine, literally. You gotta rage against the machine. But yeah, Rezi is one of those artists that she gets pilfered from constantly. Alright, now let's move on to the next manga card. Is Sayori. And this is one that's just her stage name, and she has a company called Neko Works, and which means cat work. So she makes her bread and butter by making visual novels and little mangas about focusing on her original chocolate and vanilla characters. But first, I wanted to show you like a cool fan art of Madoka Magica, Puella Magic, Madoka, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's one of those titles.
Super long. They just call it Madoka Magica. That's what they want.
Madoka. And then it has all of the characters. I like that animation Madoka. And this is her making a nice Alice in Wonderland.
Oh wow, vanilla and chocolate also been copied a lot.
Oh yeah, vanilla and chocolate. But yeah, like you can see here, like the complicated sitting pose, which is the thing I'm always raving about. Like a nice, even though it's like a clump of hair, it separates it enough in order to create the illusion of like individual hair strands. And of course, zooming in a lot, you can see over here the fancy original, the way that it renders the anime eyes. So if you want to know how to render anime eyes, she also does like how to little drawing tutorials missing there within her work. So you can just
use those. Like the way that I make the eye is actually one of her tutorials.
Yeah, how to perfectly. So if you want to learn how to render beautiful, perfect anime eyes, and then just look at Sayori's work. This is working tutorials, which shows you everything you need to know about how to properly render that.
She's in DeviantArt too, right?
Yeah, yeah, she expanded outside of her basic. Mostly because she like I assume that she might be like she's bilingual. I think like she mastered English enough to be able to get out of like Pixie, cause like most of the mangaka artists are well, mangaka is basically like Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah, they're mostly in Japan in a website called Pixels that is Japanese only.
Yeah, but
Go there at your own peril. There's a lot of
not safe for work.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it will scar you for life. But between all of that, there's genuine masterpiece.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna be prude. I mean, is that whatever? They like that, good for them. But yeah, here's one where like she's putting on a corsage, and it's very nice. And look at the nice fabric. Look at the detail in the corsage here. Just nice, like even the individual layering and transience, and it's like a very complicated type of work. Yeah, and even the maid outfit has some slight embellishment with like the lines, so it looks simple, but it's very complicated. All right, and she also does Toho fan arts, cause like that's a it's a requirement, and like doing fan arts is how independent manga artists like get attention. Because that's just how you market yourself in like Japan, they'll be like, oh, look at that awesome fan art of my favorite character. Let's see what else they are doing. So they're there to lure you into looking at her Neko Mimi works.
Yeah, you don't know how many subscribers you get from the Hollow Knight community because of the Hollow Knight fans.
Yeah, like do a Hollow Knight. I dutifully do a Hollow Knight fan art every week, once a week for the last 3 years.
And it's gonna continue to happen until they start getting on board like crazy on Reddit.
Yeah, so until once it fizzles out, then I'm gonna stop making them and try a different fandom. But as long as like people are still into my crazy painting parodies of the Hollow Knight, I'm gonna still make them. And then here, of course, we have their little chocolate and vanilla Nekomimis. There were a lot of other ones that could use as reference, but I really like how they did the wedding dressings. Like just look at all of the varied details and like and even like this one has a tiara, this one has like flowers and stuff, and it's just a very nice. And then one long gloves and the other one like she could have just made them like your traditional type of wedding dress, but no, she went into the trouble of creating an original dress for her character. So there's even some like high level fashion elements. And look, in the tail they have like she has one pearl ornament and the other one like a little something. So yeah, it's fun stuff. And here's Sayori is a self portrait. with all of the stuff going on in her life in the background, and of course you can see in her dress her cats. lots of Yeah, cause lots of cats, cause that's the type of story she likes to write about her two Nekomimis. Nekomimi, chocolate and vanilla. So yeah, she also. Oh, anyway, here you see like ice cream and like a very complicated background. It tells you everything you need to know. About her, or what she wants you to know about her in specific. Cause that's what self-portraits are. It's how the artist presents itself into the world. It's not something that traditionally artists don't do like self-portrait just to have like a mirror presentation. It's how they advertise. Like they be like, I can make you look this awesome, but I guess I was doing like the oldest, but I guess it's just like a nice
No, the rules that apply to all paintings and all paintings also apply to new ones. Like art is universal and it's how you understand it.
Yeah, it's how she's trying to communicate herself to
The people.
like the people that are fans of her work, and it's very rare for like a mangaka artist to have a self portrait in mixing with her work.
Except for Kisho Ripto, the guy from Excel Saga, almost made the whole show about him, but
Yeah, and uh, whatever.
But he's hilarious, so we don't care.
Yeah, I think it's a free pass. All right, here's the next manga card. Is Tsukiji now.
Actually owned. I had that poster in your room.
Yeah, like we bought it in we bought it in like Amazon.
Like, do I bring it over so they just...
No. It's just it's very dusty. We gotta dust it up. It's the coffin you're thinking about. Like aside from making like great, amazing like wall art, and like he also like it also makes like it has its own like original manga project called Adekan. But I wanted to first start with like Alice in Wonderland. Like Alice in Wonderland is like ridiculously popular in like Japan. Like I can just write in like any Japanese image website where like artists post stuff, and then just write Alice in Wonderland, and then just see how many.
No, you don't even need to turn on Netflix, and you'll see
that
Dante fighting the bunny from
yeah, fighting the white rabbit from from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, the gates are well open. We hope to see you all there.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole they go. But yeah, like Alice in Wonderland is one of those IPs that has been done to death, and even very recently, mind you. And I promise you that there's probably in different places in the world, different people either making an Alice in Wonderland fan art, making an Alice in Wonderland manga, comic, or book, you know, like a reimagining, or a movie, or a weird triple X project. But
Mary Skelter is all Alice in Wonderland stuff.
Yeah.
Like I keep thinking of all of the
all of the Alice in Wonderland inspired, and even if it's not like 100% the story, there's also reference to it here and there. Oh. Like I bet if you look very closely, you're gonna find an Alice in Wonderland literally everywhere.
Finish Mary Skelter, right?
Yeah. It's on our to-do list. I have a lot of to-do list. After I finish Dragon Age, I'm gonna finish Dragon Dogma 1. Regardless of how long it might take me. I'm gonna defeat the Earth with Dark Arisen in the other in level 2 and okay, so this one is Little Red Riding Hood. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in a lot. Like as you can see, like the nice pose and like the hair, the cloth, the fabric, and in the background over here you see different versions of Alice in Wonderland wondering about the forest. It's a nice drawing, and I like the way that she does like the eyeballs.
Look at that shit.
Yeah, that's what it was called in German. It's a German fairy tale.
Very dark.
Very dark. Yeah, why couldn't the mother bring the food to the grandma herself? She sent her daughter out there to die. Yeah, she left her grandmother in the middle of the woods so that she would die without any help, and then she sent her only begotten child out there to die.
Then the lumberjack came.
And then the lumberjack came. No, seriously, so what kind of advice you give your little girl that just stay on the path and you'll be fine? No, people, there's thieves, there's ravenous wolves that leave the path, reindeers that are like in a bad mood and they attack anyone wearing red. The point is that Little Red Riding Hood is like Hansel and Gretel, another small child that was sent into the woods to die. But that's just my overall opinion as far as...
a little Frozen Maiden.
Yeah. Well, Frozen Maiden is that Little Red Riding Hood stuff, yeah. And like this is a fan that she made of like the Lord of the Rings. Here's Frodo, the other guys, and the fairy. I don't remember much of that.
Yeah.
I watched it in school, but I guess since I didn't speak much English at the time, I just like it was too bland to warrant my attention. And
I tried to read Tolkien once, and I just...
Oh my god! It was just boring. It bored me to tears. But
we'll see you Tolkien, great guy.
Great guy, but people are allowed now to not like The Godfather.
Yeah.
Or fantasy.
All right, we said it. We did not care for Tolkien.
We did not care for Tolkien. It insists upon itself. Upon it's a fantasy book. Get to the action already.
Right, those eagles.
Right? Get the eagles. Whatever. And this one is the fan that she made of like house moving castle. Like very complicated, like different heels and stuff. And here we have a little calcifer. But it's a little ball of fire. There's a limit to like how much embellishment it can get. And then here's Moody How.
Is that when he painted his hair like brown and got annoyed?
I guess it's just brown. No, it turned orange.
Oh yeah, there.
But it's blonde.
Like that movie. It's a good movie to fall asleep to, but that's a good thing.
But in a good type of way. Zoom too far out. And this is a fan art of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, but since it's not the Disney version, because you may not remember this Disney, but Peter Pan has been license free for like the last 100 years, so other people can make Peter Pan and Wendy. So if you're struggling to make like
the guys who made Winnie the Pooh should make Peter Pan and Wendy.
Oh yeah.
Just go nuts with it.
Yeah. He murders just a lunatic who like teenager who murders the parents of the children and then steals them away, and then they swap, and then it turns into the Lord of the Fly with them forming a huge. No, it turns into the Children of the Corn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just mix Peter Pan with the Children of the Corn. Yeah, which is good stuff.
And make a Tinkerbell on Sally.
Oh yeah, she's the main antagonist of the story. Oh yeah, and then here's how Tinkerbell looks. They went for like a bigger fairy, I mean, and little Peter Pan. And the fan art of Death Note, very skinny people. Like there was a time when like people wouldn't shut the hell up about Death Note. They were acting like this is the best thing ever. Everyone must watch Bird Box style. and then I've seen better.
Yeah, I shall eat a potato chip and. Say what?
Yeah, I should eat a potato chip. Bring me a potato. Yeah, just kidding. I don't want to have to wash my mouth again. I should take a potato chip and I will eat it. But yeah, definitely. And and you can tell who's like in the US, whenever like they want to mark the main antagonist or like the asshole, they give him apples. So you should have known that Light Yagami was like the absolute worst, considering how many apples were around him. And even Ryuk too, he was also crazy about apples because he was like the jerk of the story. And the moment that Light stopped being amusing, where he said, "Oh, so now you're just gonna get arrested, and then you're not gonna do anything fun. So then I'm just gonna kill you," and he did. And that's why he ended up suffering a heart attack, because Ryuk was only sticking around because he was a very amusing human. And then afterward, this one is a fan art of the Naruto season 1.
Oh wow, Lucas, is that Sakura?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. It's hyper focused on Sakura.
Or Sasuke.
Here's Sasuke, weird skinny Sasuke, and Naruto over here. He does he does it's video that he like prefers to draw like chicks. Like 80% of her both work is chicks or like very effeminate looking guys. Very skinny. Yeah, so that's clamp, you know? Yeah, like you made the hair longer of literally all of all of her guy characters, and they pass as woman easily. Whatever, it's a style. The same way that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure guy cannot draw a chick to save his own life. The same thing with like Tsukiji now, that like all her guy characters look like women. Whatever. But as the great painters once said, it's harder to draw a woman than to draw a guy, and that's why it was considered hard. Big art in the old days. How well can you render a hot chick? It's still kind of big art to say, whatever. This one is the Final Fantasy VII, Aeris, and Tifa. And like it's interesting that the design that they have is mimicking the work of Alphonse Mucha, which was Art Nouveau painter. Like see here, one representing spring, and the other one the bounty of summer. So yeah, so that went bad. So yeah, it's like very. So that's something else that you can do for like your art and stuff. Just try to do like painting parodies or references using, and then you may be surprised about what you learn by like studying other like the modern painters and like nice 3D patterns and so forth. It's a good art, and it's still Tifa and Iris. This artwork is mainly focusing on emerald. You could almost see it as a study of like the color green. Over here you have like different shades of green, and also not only like different surfaces, but also like in bubbles. So it's a very interesting. And over here's the main inspiration for this art piece, the emerald. It's just very interesting. Oh, and even like the eyeballs, it has like the different gradients of emerald, because sometimes emeralds have like an impurity that gives it like a nice reddish orange hue. All right, let's see the next. And here, of course, the main characters her manga works Adekan. I think they sell like I have seen copies of Adekan in Amazon. So you wouldn't have to like dig too deep in order to read the manga work and stuff. And of course, and here we have the last manga artist I wanted to mention is the Tony Taka or Taka Tony. I forgot which one was the order. Is the order of factor? Yeah, I do remember like he made his money by designing original characters for like anime shows and visual novels and.
Wait, is Luis Royo not on this list?
Well, he's not manga.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's evocative illustrator.
Yeah, I was making it 100% anime style.
We don't need to put him in some list.
Yeah. But if you've ever seen like that old anime show Shining Tears or Shining whatever, not Shining Nikki, but Shining Wind. Also, he also contributed to like Melty Blood, or as it's known in America, Face Day Night. Like he also like helped with like the characters and panels in that visual novel. And here's a nice looking fairy. And it has all the elements that I like in our nice flowy hair and very complicated poses and like Ripley outfits. I like outfits.
I've been the one who decided to make Saber's sword invisible, because that's
that was dumb. Oh yeah, here we have a Saber from Face Day Night with her back turned, and look at that nice like that nice city landscape.
We're just talking about Saber, and there she is.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, and even like it's interesting how it does like the transparency around the face, cause like you see it around.
Yeah, his hair is translucent.
Yeah, like hair is not like a solid clump of mass. It's see through in some places, if it's a thin strand of hair. This one is from the visual novel France Shoujo. And the main character maiden, nice blonde maiden with like the hair rippling and like just like even if it's just a static character, by just adding a little bit of wind, it adds drama to the scene. And of course, he like you're noticing like a lot of his visual novels that like he likes to dodge angle scenes, which is.
There's nobody told him not to do that, but that's okay.
Well, that's okay. It's a style, It's a style that some people like Dutch channel. And here's the Rosen Maiden. As you can see, like a lot of them are like blonde chicks or like light hairdo maiden. You know, like you see a lot of blonde chicks in his work. But that for some folks like certain hair colors better than others. You know. Yeah. So then the Rosen Maiden, this was a big anime show back in the day. In the early 2000s. I don't know what's popular right now because I hate.
Now it's a slug that that evolves into like a different slug.
Oh, the slime.
Yeah. All
Uh,
Chunky was doing right now.
oh gosh, it's terrible. And what's worse is that they must have making enough money for that. That a lot of people like. Whatever. A lot of people like a lot of people like American Pie. And that's fine for them, but whatever. And this one is just made it in a nice red kimono. Look at that, like all of the fancy decoration of the kimono. There are other stuff in that picture, but I mostly want you to look at the fancy kimono. Next picture. This one is the original elf character chick from Shining Tears, and her character design is very similar to. Remember that record Orlando's War, the Japanese answer to Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, the blonde elf archer main romantic interest. They created that cliche in like Japanese fantasy culture. If you see the blonde elf in a green armor in like all of your fantasy tropes, and it was started by the record of Londos and even further perpetuated by Tony Taka with his cute little elf maiden.
Elephant in the room. What about Link?
Oh yeah, but he's not a chick.
It can be.
Oh yeah.
Link is a gender neutral name, so you can play as male Link or female Link.
Yeah, and there have been female links canonically in like the plot or something. You are the missing link. You are the weakest link. Bye bye. You gotta put canon to do a weakest link parody. You are the weakest link. Bye bye.
Nintendo needs to pay for that kind of content.
Yeah. Alright, so then that's the last manga card that I want you to be aware of. I hope you find my review of the work I'm using. Bye bye and God bless. Alright, stop it.
Yeah, okay.